Yeah, 1863. And this is taken from Titian's Venus of Urbino. Also, this is just like screaming sex. You know, he's like, forget about it. At this point, like, he puts this woman, and this woman's seen as a prostitute. She was seen as, the critics said that she was dirty, that she should take a bath, you know, and you know, but she just doesn't care. And that's why Monet's a badass, because he painted this woman who's probably a prostitute, and the gaze is like dead on, just looking straight at your eyes. And that was, you know, really confronted the viewer that was looking at this. He also, this black woman here, the servant, very, very strange. I mean, her skin color is almost the same as that background. I mean, if this is a comment on, I know I shouldn't go into that, but if this is some like comment on race relations or something, it's almost like she doesn't exist, you know. Her skin is treated almost the same as the background, whereas, you know, Olympia has this bright, dramatic theater, you know, almost like 1,000 fluorescent bulbs all around her or something like that, going off at once, and this giant bouquet, this crazy giant bouquet of flowers. In the bottom right too, back down beyond her feet, you can also see this little cat, which is kind of also going into the background. Of course, the cat also, you know, a symbol of sex and promiscuity. Then we go on. Things are still progressing. Everything's cool. And you get to the Death of Maximilian. Well, I'll talk about it. I don't have the picture in front of me. I can't find it, but I'll just go for it. The Death of Maximilian, basically, it was an anti-imperialist painting, and when you look at this, he actually, to make a long story short, France was sailing all over the planet, and many people, artists, students, and those types were anti-imperialists and thought that this should end, and so the Death of Maximilian, the painting, was basically condemnation of imperialist French attitudes, and he in fact made lithographs of the Death of Maximilian, and he wanted them distributed to everybody. It was kind of like a kid going to Kinko's and making a bunch of agitprop or something like that, and he made the lithographs, and the lithographs actually got banned in Paris. And so that's the Death of Maximilian. Of course, you can go on to, I don't want to go into all the historical things because it'll take forever. Let's jump into Emile Zola. Emile Zola is a painting he did of his friend who was a critic. He was mainly a novelist, of course, but he was also an art critic, and he was another guy that railed against the salon. So this is 1868 now, and in this painting is just full of great, you know, just great things about what Manet was thinking and what was happening in Paris during that time. You've got, this is definitely Manet's studio, and he's got some books rearranged in the background and trying to make it look like a writer's studio. You can see there's a lithograph of Olympia up in what appears to be a frame of sorts, and to the left of it is this Japanese print, and these things were just nuts. You know, there's a couple of Van Goghs too, which are copies of these Japanese prints, and they're just phenomenal. And these were starting to get cool in Europe around the same time. Also, this Japanese screen behind the chair, also very, very nice. And you're going to start seeing these Japanese prints. They're going to start coming into his compositions soon. And you know, obviously the portrait is just gorgeous. The jacket blends into the background, and all these darks are all connected. Just beautifully painted, and his fluidity and paint application, obviously a master of that realm of painting as well. Where are we at now? Yo, so this is 1868, and now it's like they're coming up. The Impressionists are coming up. They got theirs, you know? And it's important to remember, like I said in the beginning, to think of it like this. Manet is Splinter from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, okay? The rest of them can be like, you know, Pissarro, Monet, Renoir, Cézanne, all those people. They couldn't be the other turtles, but definitely Manet is Splinter, without a doubt. He's the guy who calls the shots. All the other turtles look up to him. I don't even know why. Why did the Ninja Turtles, Michelangelo and Donatello and Raphael and Leonardo, I mean, those guys weren't all like really homies, you know? Which, you know, they're different time periods even, and like, that's not really like a good art group. Like, the Impressionists, that was a real art group. But like, the people the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are named after, they're not really like a group of artists. But in this case, yeah, Pissarro, Monet, Renoir, and Cézanne are definitely, they should have been the names of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Splinter should have actually been named Manet. Anyway. Yo, the Monet Floating Studio. So, this is a whack painting, dude. This is just weird. We got, oh, here's boating. But before that, we got, here it is. You know, we get into this year, 1874, right? And Manet is chilling with Monet all the time. And they kind of develop a similar style. And you can see in, you know, Claude Monet painting in his studio, the studio boat, you can see that, you know, Manet, it's my least liked personally period of Monet, is when he's really brushy and it's really getting floofy, getting a little too floofy for me. I mean, I understand the floof and the need for floof, but you know, after Monet did his Impression Sunrise, I think it was called. Probably, yeah, Impression Sunrise. He painted that 1874. That's the same year as this. Claude Monet paints Impression Sunrise, and you should also know the Impression Sunrise, of course, by Claude Monet in 1874, because that's why we call Impressionists Impressionists. It's from that painting, because that painting made everyone nuts. Anyway, we can talk about Monet next time, perhaps. Maybe we'll do Monet next time. Do an Impressionism thing first, and then we'll go other places. I want to go all over with this. I'm going to do contemporary people too. Anyway, so you can see around 1874, Manet he's kind of starting to fall into what the kids are doing again, a little bit, I think, and he's getting a little brushy and a little bit floofy there for a little bit. Then we come back, and during this same time, he's got this awesome painting called In the Boat. And I don't know why in this book they gave it that big of a picture. I don't know why, because it's like the best. I think it's the best Manet painting. And in this painting, we see, I think that's his brother-in-law, actually, was the model. But more importantly, again, we've got that Manet looking straight at the viewer, you know, which is common to a lot of his work. And we got this great bunch of blue. There's this giant solid blue everywhere in the negative space where the water is. No horizon line. This is starting to look like a Japanese print, is what this is, you know, it looks like. You got this crazy triangle cutting off the top right corner, just like hacking, cropping the composition to bits. And, you know, you got all this serenity. Check out this dude's, if you can, check out this guy's sideburns. I mean, the brushwork in this guy's sideburns is insane. And it's undulating like the water in the background. This woman's dress, like, everything's cool and chill, right? Like, dude's like, you know, going down the water on the boat, everything's cool. And this woman's dress is just manic, you know, out of nowhere. It's just like total methamphetamine brush strokes down in this woman's dress, just sick. And also, you know, you get a little bit of the wood cropping in at the bottom. You know, that's just cheeky at that point. Just like putting that little wood slit, cropping it in right at the bottom like that, you know, just to add insult to injury at that point. And of course, another little, you know, some people say as well, is that there's kind of a trompe l'oeil effect. L'oeil, I don't know how to say it properly, but, you know, it means like trick the eye. And where if you look at the top right corner, messing with the idea of paint on canvas, because it almost looks like the paint is peeling away from the front of the painting and revealing, you know, the raw canvas, to remind people that, you know, this is a two-dimensional surface and these things are, you know, happening on a two-dimensional surface. I don't know how much I buy that, but that is another interpretation. From there, we're going to go on to